Hello and welcome to Recyclist. It's September 29th, 2025. I'm your host, Eric Provost, and this is your weekly roundup of all the biggest news stories from the world of waste, gas, and energy, presented by Diamond Scientific. First things first, and as always, let's take a quick look at the stock market and 5 stocks on the move this past week from the world of waste, gas, and energy. Going into the weekend, Evergy Incorporated was sitting at $74.07 per share. Clean Energy Fuels Corp. now up to $2.83 per share. Opal Fuels Incorporated, similarly around the same area at $2.54 a share. NextEra Energy, now sitting at $75.85 per share. And going into this week, Black Hills Corp. looking good at $60.91 a share. But moving into the news, first up, this past week in Nashville, Tennessee, at RNG Works 2025, Greenlane Renewables Incorporated revealed its next-generation landfill gas upgrading system. According to a press release from the company, the Cascade LF product line utilizes innovative patent-pending advancements and takes industry-proven and reliable technology elements and integrates them in an optimized way that fully exercises each and avoids unnecessary equipment. In a quote from Brad Douville, the CEO of Greenlane, he says, quote, "Our goal is to make RNG projects more accessible and scalable by enabling project owners to enhance revenue-generating RNG output from their assets while minimizing upfront investment. Greenlane is committed to advancing the technology frontier in biogas upgrading with the aim of coming down the cost curve and going up the performance curve." End quote. But moving to Pennsylvania, the Center Area Transportation Authority, or CATA, announced this past week it has entered into a partnership with UGI Energy Services that will see the authority's fleet of 60 buses and 6 service vehicles make a permanent switch to renewable natural gas as a fuel source. The partnership was celebrated by local officials with a ribbon-cutting ceremony at CATA's headquarters. CATA projects the swap to renewable natural gas will save over 3,000 tons of CO2 emissions annually and achieve a 99.5% reduction in bus fleet emissions. Only around 15 tons of annual emissions are estimated to be released by the fleet. CATA CEO David Rischel said, quote, "This is a really important milestone for CATA. RNG is a gas that would otherwise be vented from landfills into the environment, so why not capture it and use it as fuel for public transport? It makes a green option greener and provides cost savings." End quote. But up next, in a recent interview with Waste Dive magazine, Environmental 360 Solutions CEO David Artolini says his company is ready to break into the U.S. market. Artolini founded the company, known as E360S, in 2018, and now, 86 acquisitions later, it's since gained a presence in Alberta, British Columbia, Ontario, Quebec, and Saskatchewan. During the interview, Artolini said, quote, "We're only in Canada right now. We plan to enter the U.S. next year. So it's all about the market we enter and focusing on disposal strategy. As long as we have a strategy for disposal and we can't get squeezed out of that market, then if it's owning a landfill, we have to own the landfill. If it's owning a transfer station, we have to own the transfer station to protect our market share. Now, when we enter the U.S. market, our Canadian back office can support in the initial stages the acquisitions we acquire until we scale there to build our own back office out in the U.S." End quote. But bouncing back to Pennsylvania for our next story, the University of Pittsburgh announced it is launching a new undergraduate degree in renewable energy, natural gas, and oil engineering, designed to prepare the next generation of engineers to deliver comprehensive energy solutions. By combining traditional oil and gas engineering with renewable systems across the Swanson School of Engineering's diverse academic and research portfolios in energy, the program ensures graduates can adapt as global energy demands evolve. Robert Enoch, Pitt professor and vice chair of research who led the program's design, said, quote, "Industry and society are at a pivot point as our energy portfolio adapts to a complex balance of components. Whether traditional oil and natural gas to solar, wind, biomass, hydroelectric, or geothermal. We developed a hands-on program that meets current needs while future-proofing our graduates' careers, enabling them to move seamlessly between industries." End quote. And just a quick reminder before we continue, Recyclist is brought to you by Diamond Scientific, an industry leader in gas analysis, instrumentation, and solutions. Make sure to visit them online at diamondsci.com. That's diamondsci.com, or you can even set up a personalized presentation just by calling 321-223-7500. Now on with the news. According to recent data released by the American Biogas Council, more than 1,200 U.S. wastewater treatment plants capture biogas from their wastewater sludge and use it to produce electricity equivalent to 7.3 billion kilowatt hours per year. The data also shows significant untapped potential, with about 3,800 additional facilities, over 3 times as many, having the potential to build biogas capture systems, but not having them. According to the council, if every suitable wastewater facility installed systems, the sector could capture 171.8 billion cubic feet of biogas each year, enough energy for 1.3 million U.S. households. Patrick Surfass, the executive director of the American Biogas Council, said, quote, "Biogas systems have the potential to unlock an unprecedented supply of U.S.-made energy, and wastewater facilities can help make that happen. Investing in biogas capture at wastewater facilities creates a win-win scenario. Waste is recycled instead of discarded, and the U.S. can tap enough new energy to power the homes of millions of Americans across the country." End quote. And on an additional note, we at Recyclist recently sat down with Patrick Surfass to talk all about biogas advocacy in a recent episode of Recyclist. Make sure to check that out. And up next, the Mars Candy Company, which produces some of the most consumed products in America, recently announced it has moved 100% to renewable energy for its factories in Europe. This achievement was made following Mars's first investment in a European wind farm in 2016. Mars transformed all its factory sites across Europe to renewable electricity in the past decade. The company's investments include reductions in energy and conversions to renewable sources, as well as the purchase of certificate market-based instruments covering the remaining electricity and natural gas used in the company's direct operations, with renewable electricity and biomethane. Mars has a total of 10 factories in Europe, producing more than 900,000 tons of candy and snacks. These factories are in the UK, France, Germany, Poland, the Czech Republic, and the Netherlands. And up next, Char Technologies recently celebrated a significant milestone of one of its partners, Lake Nipigon Forest Management Incorporated, as the company secured a forest resource processing facility license. This approval allows the operation of a biohub forestry processing facility in Ontario, which will supply feedstock to a co-developed renewable energy facility with CharTech. The project, supported by the Ontario government, is expected to generate over 70 million Canadian annually in revenue from renewable fuels and biocarbon, marking a transformative step for Indigenous-led forestry and Ontario's clean energy future. And lastly, moving to Florida, Nepetro Energy recently opened South Florida's first facility that converts landfill gas into renewable natural gas, marking a milestone in the region's push toward cleaner energy sources. The plant was a $42 million project developed through a public-private partnership with Indian River County. George Herrera, the CEO of Nepetro Energy, said, quote, "Opening this facility is a major step, not just for Nepetro's growing natural gas production and distribution network, but for Indian River County. We believe in building facilities that support and give back to the cities where they stand." End quote. And that will do it for your September 29th, 2025 news roundup, brought to you by Recyclist. Once again, a registered trademark of Diamond Scientific. I've been your host, Eric Provost, and we will see you back here next week for another brand new episode of Recyclist. Thank you.